I, Rehan Gunawardena of James Roos Agricultural High School, am here with Annie Chedid of Balcombe Hills High School, outside the Lord Mayor of Parramatta's office, preparing to interview him as part of our monthly Success Story feature. At the Australian Education Times, we look to recognise both success and achievement, and the Lord Mayor is someone who continues to gain both in great abundance. I'm here today with the Lord Mayor of Parramatta, John Chedid, who has successfully held 2 terms in council from 2010 to 2011 and 2012 to 2013, and he has recently been re-elected for his 3rd term as Lord Mayor, which will last until September 2014. Councillor Chedid's people-oriented focus to community leadership has led to great success in all areas. To name but a few, he has implemented the first ever Parramatta Economic Development Forum, the first illegal dumping policy in conjunction with Community Pride Day, and the instigation of a $1.6 million development project in Parramatta Square. And I'd like to say welcome to Lord Mayor John Chedid, and it's an honour to have you here today. And I'd like to kick off the questions with, can you tell us about your journey to become the Lord Mayor of Parramatta?
Sure, well, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And if I can start to say, I would have been maybe around your age, back at school. I used to ask myself the question, how can we make a better community? How can we, as a society, do things better? And as life went on, I started to get involved with the wider, broader community, and was always reminded by my family about giving back to our community, to our society. And then there was a friend of mine, a police officer, who at the time that I was volunteering with at the Police Community Youth Club, said to me, John, the passion and commitment you have for your city, why don't you get involved in politics? And at the time I said to him, look, I'll think about it, because I was doing volunteering and I had a young family. So I think it was at that point when he said to me, but you could make a greater difference if you're involved in politics.
Yes, that's very interesting. And so at what point did you realise that you wanted to pursue a community-focused career?
I think there was a point when I would have been walking through Parramatta, and I thought, wow, this is a beautiful city that I grew up in. My family chose as their home. But I thought we can do better. We can remodel, redesign, make the city a better place for people to come and enjoy and live and work. So at that point I thought, you know what, how can I make a difference? And then I was approached by someone, what a coincidence, and asked would I be interested in running, to run for council. So it was around back in 2003.
Do you see Parramatta as a potential future hub of Sydney?
Yes, I do. I do for many reasons. If you look at Parramatta, it is the centre of Sydney. It's the gateway to all of Western Sydney. We're very well connected to the hills, to the west, to the south. So strategically, where we're located, we are the true hub of Sydney.
And so during your career, what would you say has been your biggest challenge, and how did you conquer it?
I think the biggest challenge we've had is basically trying to get the community to understand that sometimes we've got to make tough decisions to get an outcome, a better outcome. So we've had to educate the community with the large redevelopment of Parramatta Square, the $1.8 billion development, that they need to be patient. They need to persevere with us, because this development is what will deliver this whole region a landmark. It will provide an iconic development where people could feel proud of. It will give Parramatta and the region a centerpiece, and it will create the jobs for our locals. So that's been challenging to explain to them that it's going to take a few years before we get there, because we want to make sure we do it right.
And so, as you hold a position of great responsibility, what would your advice be to someone who would try and become a leader of this sort?
Always remember where you came from, respect those before you and the work that they have done. Bring people with you on your vision and never lose touch with the grassroots.
What is your educational background and how has that helped you with your career, Lord Mayor?
Well, let me tell you, I didn't study politics. I got into in the medical health industry. So I studied science. So I worked at a diagnostic pathology lab for 10 years. It was called Douglas Hanley Moyer, then Sonic Health. So my career was more in health, medical health, but I've always, and I did a postgrad, I suppose, in IT when I was bored of my life at one stage, so I wanted to try something different. And but I still have the passion to go back and study, and maybe it could be in politics, or it could be in another area.
And so, out of all your achievements as Lord Mayor, which are you most proud of and why?
Wow. Well, look, I've been very, very lucky that we have achieved some wonderful outcomes for the city. And that's only been possible because of the support I have from my council colleagues and the community. But if there's one really that stands out, I suppose improving our public domain, improving our river foreshore. You know, when I go down to the river and I see how active it is now with some of the things we've provided, like the new state-of-the-art playground, we've got a water fountain, our town hall here, the mall. I think that's been a huge achievement where people are able to see the difference, like there's an outcome.
And so, what would your goals be for the future of Parramatta?
To make Parramatta really the benchmark where every city should be striving to become. I want us to be the model, the best model that other cities could use. Just like we're learning from other cities, I want other cities to learn from us. So I want us to raise our standard and to become the standard for others to follow.
So, Lord Mayor, tell us about your experience and skills in the health and IT industries and how they've impacted your cause and career.
Look, I'll tell you, my work in the health industry has really, really helped me. It helped me in the sense, when you work in the medical health industry, you don't work for the financial return. You work because it's something that you actually enjoy, it's something you're passionate about, and you want to see a difference. You want to see a difference in people's health and well-being. So I've been able to carry that same application into my work in politics about making a difference to people's lives. The IT aspect, it actually helped me about systems, processes. It's something we've been pushing and working on with council, that you've got to have systems in place and you've got to have processes to make sure we do things to a standard, we do it in a timely manner. So they have truly helped me in my role.
Okay. And so, what advice or words of wisdom would you give to any of our readers who are interested in a career in politics?
I encourage, especially the young generation, to get involved. Get involved in your community. If you want to get involved in politics, you got to understand the community. You got to understand the people that make up the region or the city that you want to represent. When you have the good understanding of the people, what their passion, their vision, their challenges are, then I'd encourage them to get into politics. People get into politics, then they want to learn about the community. No, it's the other way around. So that would be my advice.
Okay, so thank you for your time and words of wisdom. And on behalf of us, we'd like to thank you personally. And I'm sure that our readers will be inspired and motivated by your kind advice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both very, very much for giving me this opportunity to share with you about my experience and my vision. And just remember, it is young people like yourself that inspire me in my job to try to excel.
Yep.
Thank you.